I'm Joël from Emery County, and I have a cow-calf operation, and I have grazing permits on BLM, SITLA, and Forest Service ground. I also hold a seat on the State Board of Directors for the Farm Bureau. I'm going to cut a lot of this out. Okay, so in the winter months from November to May, I run on BLM and SITLA permits in Beaver County in the Wawa Valley. And 3 years ago, I received a letter asking me to evaluate my financial situation, to evaluate my cow herd, and to take a 50% reduction so that they can make room for those wild horses. I told them they could have my sheep AUMs, and they told me, no, that's not acceptable. Those horses can't go where the sheep go, so no, that doesn't count. So they also told us, and it was great because it was verbal, not in writing, that they may be opening gates from horse management areas into areas where the horses had not been allowed before to accommodate those numbers. Now there are 13 of us permit owners down there that have filed a lawsuit against the BLM. We have spent tens of thousands of dollars trying to fight them. And then in court a year ago, there were 2 animal rights groups that were allowed to intervene on behalf of the BLM. So now not only are we fighting the BLM, we had to fight those 2 animal rights groups. Now we go back to court in March, so we need some help. In the summer months, from July to October, I run on the Gentry Mountain located in Emery County on the Mount Hyla South National Forest. We had a forest fire. And we voluntarily took a 25% reduction in our AUMs to bring that forest back to health. Well, at the end of the season, we were told we weren't going to be able to return. So, I know some big people here. I know Kevin Van Tassel. I know Senator Hinkins, Representative McKiff. Called them. We called the district ranger, Alan Rowley. We called Congressman Chafitz's office and Matheson's office. We had our county attorney up there. We had Troy Forrest from GIP, some people from the office from the Department of Agriculture. We had to pull in all these big guns to make them see that we needed to come back on. We went on a range tour, did the range tour, and finally Alan Rowley said, okay, if you guys will continue to do electric fencing, you'll continue to keep your cows where they're supposed to be, we're going to let you back on with that 25% reduction. We did. Now I need to tell you this, that coming off the mountain, we got our cows off the mountain that fall. My husband went up on the mountain to do a reseeding project to help with the health of that forest, and my husband died coming off that mountain, so this is really personal to me. We've continued to take a 25% reduction in 2014 and 15, and we have had to fight for every minute and every cow that we've had on that mountain. The district ranger, when he picked our side, that ranger, our ranger and our range con took that personal, and they hold it against us every year. We went in for a range tour, range readiness tour this last year in 2015. We've still put up electric fences. We did a range tour. They said, well, there's some of these saplings have been eaten. Well, after further examination, you all figured out elk had jumped the electric fence. It was elk eating the saplings, and we were told that was our problem, not the Forest Service problem. Then we had Mary O'Brien from the Grand Canyons Trust saying, you're going to measure these trees, you're going to measure this growth in these in the cages, and you're going to measure all of the riparian areas. And some of the permit holders finally said, why is she barking orders, and why is she giving directions, and why are we listening to her? And my range con looked him right in the face and said, because I answer to her. Now it just frosts me.
We've heard a lot about Mary O'Brien.
We love her, don't we?
Oh, yeah. We know all about Mary O'Brien.
I find it very disheartening that my federal employees who should report to me and protect my rights are answering to her. Why are they not held as accountable to me as they are to her? There's a lot of uncertainty in my business, and we as grazers are feeling bullied by these environmental groups and these animal rights groups, and especially by Grand Canyons Trust. And she speaks, the Forest Service listens, and we have to comply with everything that she demands, and it's getting harder and harder. And the gentleman in front of me talked about, I'm getting tired of being called a welfare rancher. I pay a lot of money for my AUMs, and I wish some of those people would have to write out a check for those AUMs before they think I'm a welfare rancher.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
2 more.